Hello, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button, just getting myself situated. Coming from a very messy desk. What I'd like to do today is get a head start on a challenge that I've entered on a Facebook group thing, which is to make some envelopes for a swap. So I've already made 2. I've not sealed them up, but this is basically what they look like. I'm going to make a 3rd one using things from my scraps, ephemera I've made from a napkin, or 2 napkins actually, with my butterfly. There's 3 napkins in here. Just PVA glued, cheap as chips, onto book page, which we all have too much of. Fussy cut them out and you make really nice ephemera that can be used, and we're coming into autumn, so I've got like autumn on the brain. So those are the 2 that I've done. Pop them somewhere noticeable. For some reason somebody's knocking. They've stopped. This is another envelope, just using napkin again, a junk mail envelope, and I think I want everything that I do to go in here, and then I'll put it into a hard envelope, just so that I know I'm thinking about postage, because the swap is only actually for 3 little envelopes. That's all you're meant to make, and you're meant to put a few bits and bobs in each envelope, but I always like to do more than that, particularly as you're going to be paying the same postage basically. So if I keep everything to this, I'll be able to pay the same postage but put loads of bits and pieces in there. So I'm going to work on this again. We'll kind of keep this as a little ongoing project. I might make like a pack up Happy Mail video with it, so that you see everything that I put together, because I think that when you send a Happy Mail, it's like sending a present, isn't it? It's like receiving a present. So I always try and pack it the way I'd like to receive it. Yeah, just because that's nicer. So we have a really simple way of making envelopes, or I do anyway, and we're going to go through that. And all you need is a pair of scissors. It's so simple. So I'm going to choose, we're going to make a bigger one. I've just got various scrap text block bits from my scrap pile out. Tidy up as you go along, Lindsay. So I'll put these back, then I can grab for them again if I need to, but I'm going to do some punching in a little minute. Let me sort my life out. How are you? I've literally just done a craft room tour, which I did like a very minor tidy up for, because I wanted it to be that this is actually what my craft room's like, this is how it functions. I didn't even hoover, which I can hear my mother in my head saying that's not a good thing to do, but it is what it is. So to make this envelope, let's clear the decks, and then you can see with the green background. Can we see now? So you need to make a square. It's an origami thing really. So we make a square by folding it over into a triangle, one corner going until it's absolutely flush with the bottom of the paper. Now this is a piece of a page, it's not a real page, and actually most pages, particularly in old books, are not square anyway. So this is not going to be an exact thing, but I have scoring boards, and I have envelope making tools, I have envelope making templates, and you can make a template from doing this, kind of finesse it, and then you can make a template. Hold on 1 minute, let me get you my templates. This is a bit I didn't show on my tour. So down the side one of my shelves, I've got templates. So some of these templates are very obviously made, and some of them are ones that I've bought, and I mean 20 years ago, and they're just on shower curtain hooks. So that one's got spray in it, so it's obviously a favourite. And if you can see, let's get this one off, put it to one side. It's basically an envelope that I've made using this technique, and then I've just simply stuck it onto a piece of card, cut that out, and then that's now become my envelope template, so that you don't have to go through this rigmarole, particularly if you're mass making envelopes. And this would go with one particular book. I mean, it would go with other books, but it was designed from one particular book. Like, I think I still have some of that text block. Anyway, so we got our landscape orientation paper. We're folding this corner to meet this bottom edge. We're burnishing this down. Then we're going to cut along here. It's very howly-browly outside. I think it's going to rain again. Our nice weather's over with. I hope it's nice tomorrow. We're going to go do a bit of antiquing and then a National Trust place. And then on Friday, we're supposed to be going to the seaside. Well, if it's like this, we won't be. Although I quite like moody seaside. Yeah, be alright. Anyway, so we've got our square piece of paper now. You want your top flap to be your prettiest flap. So have that out like that to the top, because that's going to make, if you know, on this one that's a bit bent up, this one's better. This is the bit that comes down, and it's just nicer if it's the prettiest bit, particularly if you're making it out of book page. If you're making it out of brown paper, or it doesn't matter, but if you're making it out of book page, I always think that that's the better end. So now, and I'm going to use my measuring board, and I'm going to fold it in. If you want it to be very accurate, do it this way, or measure with a ruler. Just so that you get equal. And it's not perfect. I can see that that fold is not true. It's not straight. But I'm not worrying too much about it. It's a handmade envelope. You know, this is not, I'm not trying to remake a Hallmark card envelope. I'm making a handmade envelope. There we go. Keeping that like that. Now we want to decide how deep our envelope's going to be. So if we want it quite deep, then we would fold it here. If we want it, you know, smaller, we go up. But I think I want this one to be the biggest envelope out of my three. So I'm going to have it quite deep. So this envelope is, I've got my paper tape. I need to get one of my vintage sewing tapes and have it from the little haberdashery department. So it's a 4-inch wide, or a 10 centimetre, just over 10 centimetres wide envelope. And then we want to see, I think I just want a little tiny overlap. Little tiny overlap. So there we go. So it's not, is it a right angle? It's not. It's a little bit wonky, but it's a handmade envelope. If I took more time over it and wasn't talking to you and measured it properly and used a scoreboard, I could probably get it true. But you know what? This is literally just using folding, some common sense and your scissors, really, because this isn't quite finished. What I like to do is notch out the four corners of the envelope here, and that just helps it to fold a lot better, helps it to sit a lot better. And I cut just sort of on the other side of the fold, so you're sort of cutting just on the other side of the fold, so that it's not a right angle. You can see there we go. And now it looks much more like a deconstructed envelope, doesn't it? Because of the way the little flips go. Now you could round your edges off. You could get your round punch, or you could just round them off with your scissors so that they look a little bit more like this. I mean, I think I've actually just done that with scissors. It makes them a bit softer. And you can decide which way, if you want them to sit like that, or if you want it to sit like that. It's entirely up to you how you do that. And then put that through. So that is my easy peasy quick envelope make for a letter envelope, because I know you've got like the coin envelopes. We'll do that another day. So let's do some decoration. Now, I haven't made clusters in ages, I've realised, and I thought, why have I not made clusters? So I was thinking, how shall I do this? I can either make a cluster and spend loads of time faffing, the majority of the time faffing, or I thought I could try and find something on my snippet roll. I think we might end up making a cluster. So this snippet roll, I go to a craft group that I've set up in the town that I live in, that hopefully I will start it up in the autumn. We've had a break over summer, and I take my scraps tin and I sit and make things like this rather than concentrating on anything. I'm trying to think, is there any of this would look good on an envelope? How big's this envelope? And the thing about snippet rolls is you can cut them up at any point. Ooh, I can hear my tummy rumbling. I think we're getting somewhere now. So I'm just going to snip into this snippet roll, because this is what it's here for. Kind of like cheats clusters. Let's cut it bigger than I want it. Oh, see, but that's quite nice too. Let's have a couple of choices. Let's do that and that. So where's my envelope? Here we go. I'm just going to do some tearing. Yeah, I think I need to do a little mass make of clusters and get my cluster game back on. Shall I matte medium gel that on, or I don't know. So we have that one to choose from. And I quite like this. So it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've done the craft room tour. I'm not going to tell you what shenanigans we had overnight, but my teenager has turned nocturnal over the summer holidays, which we're fully allowing. Do you know, I quite like that, and I might make it go over the other side. Do I? Or do I just rip it? I think I might rip it. Last night, I went to bed reasonable time. I woke up, my husband coming back to bed, so that made me wide awake. Then I decided, obviously, I need to use the loo, which is downstairs in this house. It's one of the reasons we got £10,000 off it. I am in what other people have as their bathroom. Yeah, it is what it is. But it doesn't mean you've got to go to the other side of the house in the middle of the night, which is rarely done, actually. So I go downstairs, and then, like, my daughter sat in the bathroom going, "Oh, Mum." So she tells me the shenanigan with the cat and what the cat brought into the house, and, well, she had to go and get her dad, and her dad had to come down and sort it out. And so, like, I'm laughing now, but at the time I was just like, I'm not happy with that. So I did what I needed to do, and then I came up and I just couldn't go to sleep. And so I ended up coming into the craft room. I have like a day bed in here because I was going to wake him up. I thought, I can't, he's already been woken up once. So I came in here and eventually managed to fall asleep, and I think I've had about 3 hours sleep. Because I remember it turning 5 o'clock, and then I woke up at 8:10. So there you go. I had a lot of sleep. So he's been fed, and it's raining, so he's going to come back in, and I just don't think I'll be very impressed with him when he comes in. I mean, we love our cat dearly, but, you know, there are limits. So, what are we feeling here? Cluster-wise. We've got that one. Oh, we've got that one. I quite like that one, you know. Do I want a little bit... So on these ones, I've put a little bit of silk. So I've got all these little bits of silk that came from... I've even got some kimono bits in here. I think I want that for a slow stitch thing though, so I'm not going to use that. Lots of M's, Lindsay. I want a bit of... Yeah, so this came from... There's a place called Cedar Farm up north near Wigan, and it has like a craft emporium with lots of little independent shops. And this was just before the pandemic. I went in and I found this lady. Can I unpick? Will that go? No. Who sold kimonos. She did kimonos. Like, got old ones because they wear out apparently. So she would buy old kimonos from Japan and import them here. And then she would make things like bags and... tops and all kinds of stuff. Really beautiful things. And she also did screen printing for silk scarves, and so she had these grab bags that were like £5, so I got a couple of those. And I mean, this was like literally January 2020, and the stuff is still going strong. Do I want to add that to that? I think I do somehow, just so it kind of corresponds. Kind of put that underneath. Right, let's do that. Yeah. So snippet rolls are really useful things. If you've never made yourself one, just do it. So what I will do is I'll keep using this, and then eventually I will use the reel which I've made myself. It's literally cardboard. When it's empty, I've been collecting receipts. How am I going to do this? I will start it again. which will be nice. Just let that dry a little bit. These little bottles for my glue, because I'm terrible at putting the lids on, but it doesn't dry up as bad as the bigger bottles, so I can continue to be terrible at putting my lids on. Right, I don't want that to cover that up. I want it like that. Yeah, I think it is going to rain. We were going to go into town because I want to look for a plastic table set, like mat, to do. I did a video on my jelly plate to replicate something I found in a vintage book that I got last week. I need to. It's like an itch. I need to do it. So we'll want to go into town because there is like you know, one of those shops that sells a bit of everything. It's like, I think it's called Kitchen Homeware Shop. That's what it's called in the town I live in. But you know, they're usually called Thingamy-Bob or stuff like that. I think I might be able to find what I need, and then I will do another video on it. Because this, if I could replicate this thing, it would just be really, really cool. Just add in like little bits of Posca. Well, these are not Posca pens. I think have I ordered any gold and silver Posca pens? I think I have, and they're not arrived yet. I'm whittling away that. I got some tax back money, and after chatting with my husband, I decided to spend it on my craft room and craft supplies, because everything, and you'll see that in the in the tour, everything is from the side of the road in this room. And I mean, most of my house things we've gathered for free or very little, and we've bought second hand, and we're committed to buying second hand actually. And this room has literally all the rejects. The only thing that was specifically intended for this room is the green desk that I talk about that we found on the side of the road, and I painted that, and then the chair I'm sitting in, which is new. Oh, why has that happened? Not towards the end. There we go. Sorry about that. I think I just moved something with my foot. Let's wrap it up. So yeah, you can see this is just the back of a receipt on my snippet roll. But they make for really quick clusters. And if you're clustered challenged like me, I'll show you the other envelopes, and the majority of the time is me going, should I put that there or should I put that there? A snippet roll is definitely the answer. So these are the other envelopes that I will be popping bits and pieces in. I will also be making some other things. I might make some like pockets and put other bits and pieces in as well. But those are the envelopes. All you need to make a book page envelope is a book page and a pair of scissors, and to know how to fold it. There we go. How do you make your envelopes? Do you have a template? Do you use a board and a punch? Do you keep old envelopes and make templates that way? How do you do it? Let me know. I'd love to know. And all the other things. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Hit the little bell. If you've already done those things, thank you very much. Help my little channel grow. I'm really enjoying it. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye bye.